Good morning. It is Monday, so it's time for some book talks. And I will start this one out saying that this is going to be a hard book talk for me to do. The two books I'm going to talk about today both deal with some heavy topics. And already right now, I already feel emotional and my heart's racing. But, like I said, I feel like these are important to share with you. Okay. The first one is... can't really see that great. Take Me With You When You Go by David Levithan and Jennifer Niven. Okay. It was a great audiobook. It was told in multiple voices, so we had multiple narrators. It is told through emails. The entire story is in email form, and it is emails between a brother and a sister. The sister has run away from home. Okay, she is this close to graduating. It's almost the end of her senior year, and she has just left. Okay, so the book opens with the brother talking about that. Okay, and then things become, revealed throughout their conversations. The depth of their relationship is both revealed and increased throughout the book, and the things that they have experienced both separately and together, they talk about a lot. There is a lot of discussion of domestic violence in this book. That's the main reason that the sister left the house. Their mother is with a man who is physically and verbally abusive to them, to both of the siblings. And I'm not going to go into all the details of the book in case you want to read it, but one of the main messages of this book, and it's not preachy. I feel like they did a great job of letting the story develop. There's also some twists in there as well about their biological father. But the main message, the takeaway for me, in addition to all the things that it, reminded me of about my past, but the takeaway for me was that things that happened to you happened. They did. But they're in the past, and you can move forward. And also that it helps to talk to other people that have had similar experiences. Because undoubtedly, whatever you're experiencing, someone else has also. If you can't find someone in your actual life to talk to about it, books exist. That's one of the things that some of the books in our library do, is they both provide a window into experiences you have maybe not had, but it might be helpful for you to see, shed some light on these experiences so you can empathize with other people who have been through these things. They're also mirrors for people to be able to see themselves and their experiences reflected. So that was Take Me With You When You Go by David Levithan and Jennifer Niven. I will be buying it for the library. Don't have it yet. And the other one is Fighting Words by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. I have had this book on my list to read for a long time. It sat on the new book shelf and stared at me for quite a few months, and I finally read it. It is a local author, so Kimberly Brubaker Bradley is from East Tennessee. It is set in East Tennessee, so there are a lot of local references. For example, one of the main characters works at Food City. So that was interesting, being from East Tennessee and, working down the street from a Food City and shopping there all the time. That was interesting, but it's also, it was a hard book to read. I knew what it was about before I started it, so as soon as I cracked the book, it's I already know what I'm in for. It is for... The intended audience is elementary school students, but it was very moving to me as an adult to get it down to that level. The vocabulary is simplified. The main character is 10 years old, and she and her sister are survivors of sexual abuse. Okay, their mother also blew up a motel room with a meth lab, and then was incarcerated, and they were left with mother's boyfriend at the time, who was not related to them, did not have custody of them, anything like that. And they mentioned in the book, that somebody really dropped the ball in not having him prove his relationship to them. And I'm not going to summarize the story. I tell myself I would not do that. But it is it's not graphic because it's for children. There is a description of an incident that is recorded, and that's part of their evidence. Like I said, I don't want to go into specific details, but again, with this book, I thought they did a great job of showing how things after a horrible situation could go better. Okay, I will say it's not necessarily a typical experience, but part of that is because we don't talk about things like this enough in our culture. They mention ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, in this book, and how 2/3 of children have at least one. Okay, and that can be lots of different things. Divorce, death of a family member, parent on drugs, sexual abuse, physical abuse, all kinds of things can fall under adverse childhood experiences. And one of the things the main character says is 1/3 of kids haven't had anything happen to them. How is this possible? What must that be like? She's just amazed. Because all she ever has known is hardship and struggle and horrible things. But as the book goes on, I really enjoyed the way they developed the story. There's a suicide attempt. Like I said, not details, just these are in the book. Okay, sexual assault, suicide attempt, parent incarcerated, parent on drugs, foster care, sexual harassment. I really liked how they dealt with the sexual harassment incident. It's in a 4th grade classroom. I'm not going to detail it to you, but I really liked how that went. I loved the foster parent character. But it was realistic. The main character at times I thought maybe sounded too adult, but then you remember that she's been through some really hard stuff that's made her grow up too fast. So anyway, I don't want to go on forever and ever, but I highly recommend both of these books. They're both very important and also just really well done. So Take Me With You When You Go by Levithan and Niven, and then Fighting Words by Bradley. So I'm going to post some resources, also some links to some resources in the description of this video. So if anybody needs some resources about abuse, assault, anything like that, suicide prevention, they're going to be in the description of this as well. Also, if you need somebody to talk to here at school, you have counselors who will listen to you. You have teachers who will listen to you. And one of the things it said in one of those books is you keep telling people until someone helps you.